Joel Embiid's world champion. Welcome on in. It's another edition of the Clap Your Hands podcast. Jack, Fritz, Eliot, Shorr-Parks hanging out on this Sunday afternoon as yesterday we watched our guy climb to the top and became a world champion. Eliot, I mean, what a momentous occasion as Joel Embiid finally wins a ring.
Really tough day for the you can never win with Joel crowd. Tough for the Joel will never win anything.
Sure.
And it has to kill Jokic to know Joel has something he'll never have, which is a true world championship. Is there any debate that Joel's Olympic medal is more memorable and meaningful than Jokic's NBA title?
It is absolutely not, but
it absolutely is. There's in 20 years, no one will be talking about the great Nuggets win of whatever year it was.
Yes,
they'll be talking about this Olympic team and Steph Curry, what he did, Joel's big 7 points against Serbia. I mean, these are memorable things that Joel is adding to his resume.
No, it really is, and I think yesterday really solidified that he's a Hall of Famer. You know, he's you can add that to his Hall of Fame resume that he is. Yes. He has a gold medal. I will say.
All right, let's get serious about this.
Bits aside, it's still really cool to me. Like I like Olympic basketball, at least from the USA perspective. Like I like Olympic basketball because it still shows like the hierarchy of the league. You know, everyone talks about the '92 Dream Team, and it's like, well, it was still Jordan and Magic, and well, it's really Bird and Magic who were like afraid to hand the throne to anyone else, and then Jordan's like, no, I'm taking the throne, and like. All throughout these years, like even when LeBron was peak LeBron, it was still like, yeah, but Kobe, you know what I mean? And it was as a basketball fan, it was just cool that like KD, Steph Curry, and LeBron are still like the three best players in the world, and like the hierarchy of the team to cater to those guys and like still say you're that guy, like. For guys that make hundreds of millions of dollars and you know, you question how much they care about winning, like the fact that they can almost check their ego at the door and come together and listen, they beat a French team with Wemby, who's obviously going to be insane, and Fournier, who sucks, but like and Yabusele, and Yabusele, like, it's not like they beat an unbelievable team and they should have won, maybe by more, but like, as a pure hoop head, it was still cool seeing those three kind of at the top.
Dude, what Steph did at the end of that game was unbelievable. Like, just in terms of pure fan enjoyment, those Steph threes were just so fun to sit and watch. And I'll say, going into this, I was prepared for the Joel wins gold and everybody says it doesn't matter and blah, blah, blah. Like, so I was already going in prepared to defend this.
You had your defense shield up.
Yeah, I was ready. I was ready to go. I was ready for the anti-Embiid. But I think this Olympic basketball tournament, Steve Kerr aside, ended up being way cooler and feeling like a way bigger deal than I thought it would. And I think it's because of partly what you're saying. Seeing Embiid out there with LeBron, Durant, Steph, like in the big moments. Obviously, in the final, he wasn't in for those final few minutes. But against Serbia, I mean, he saved the game for them. He went in those 7 straight points. I thought they looked dead in the water. Embiid came in, and he didn't close the game out for him. But those 7 points he had were huge. And so I think that while a gold medal will never really compare to an NBA title, I thought this felt like a much bigger deal. Like everyone on Twitter is talking about it. The entire basketball community is like super excited.
Oh, I'm surprised you said Twitter. I would have thought you were going to say everyone on Threads is talking about the Joel Embiid moment.
Threads was popping too. Don't worry. But
hold on, you don't have both up at the same time, do you?
Of course I do.
Come on,
I've now figured out how to scroll on Threads. I'm trying to help you out. So
this is
I texted you, and now we're doing this. I'm trying to help you out. So in a few months when Threads is popping, you can be on there and have your following built. You know, it's all about that. But
I appreciate
there is nothing cooler than when everybody's watching the same sporting event and tweeting about it and like reacting to it. And that's what it was. And I didn't expect that it would be like that. I thought it would be cool. I thought people would talk about it. And I think it helped that the games were close. Like if they would have dominated Serbia and dominated France, I think it wouldn't have felt the same way. But because they had to come back against Serbia, that was like a monumental type of win. It felt exciting. You thought they were going to lose. They didn't. And then the game, I mean, they were up pretty comfortably for most of that game. but it got close at the end and they had to make big plays. And so, yeah, I just think the experience overall, last time we talked about this, we said the Olympics weren't going great for Joel. Like he was having all these quotes. He got benched in that game. Like it really changed over these last 2 games, over the 2 big games. Joel was awesome. And I think now leaving the Olympic experience, I think in a lot of ways it couldn't have gone better for Joel. Would it have been better if he played like outstanding every minute he was out there? Of course. But what he did do was he stayed healthy. He was big in the big moments and he won the gold. And that's what we wanted. We wanted him to go there, stay healthy, play big in big moments, show that he can win with other winners. It looks like I love seeing all the guys defend him on the team, like through the whole him getting booed, like LeBron was sticking up for him. Everybody was sticking up for him. There's that clip in the huddle where LeBron's like, Joe, you helped us, or you took us home against Serbia or whatever it was. So I think now after these last 2 games, the Olympics were without question a really positive for Joel. And I think it was a lot more impactful than I thought it would be. I
totally agree. And when we talked last time, you're 100% right. We both said like, man, this isn't what I thought it was going to. This isn't what I thought it was going to be for him. And he wasn't playing much, but like watching the last 2 games. And I think what really helped it, honestly, was one, obviously, I think the crowds were huge. I mean, the French game, obviously that they're all rooting hard for the French team.
It was an awesome atmosphere.
I think the atmosphere was there. But I think the other thing that obviously showed in 100% in the Serbia game is that the guys really cared. Like if they didn't care, I don't think we'd be leaving the Olympics saying, "Wow, what a win for Joel Embiid." It was those guys really, really cared about winning a gold medal. I also thought it was really cool. Like, and I don't remember this in like 16, 12 or 08, but I thought it was cool that like Melo was there. That like all those kind of old NBA players. Now, maybe because it's Paris, and Paris seems like an awesome city.
Probably helps.
That they're like, all right, I'll go to Paris.
But he was standing the whole time. Like, he's on the sideline standing. A little look at me, Louis, like, sit down. But it was really cool.
Yeah, well, and I'll twist my arm, I'll go to France. But
yeah, exactly.
But, like, those guys really cared. There was intensity in those games. I know, like, we don't know every player on the French team or the Serbian team, but, like, those guys cared a lot. They obviously wanted to beat the United States. They're going to get their best punch, and the United States had to figure it out. But I thought it was big for Joel from the standpoint of, like, Joel, like, this is going to sound weird, but, like, he needs to not think that he has to do everything next year. And I think that being on Team USA, heading into a season where you add Paul George, where you have Tyrese Maxey, who is all-star level, it's so important for him to not feel like he has to do everything and be a team kind of player. And I think by playing for USA, letting other people cook, not feeling like he has to do everything, my hope is that now he gets to return back to the Sixers and he's like, all right, I'll let PG do his thing, I'll let Tyrese do his thing. And I know there's this whole conversation of like, well, it's like, does PG know he's like the third option? Is he really the third option? Is he the second option? Like, my biggest hope is that no one feels like they're anything but the first option, but they can all just cohesively work together. And I think that that's going to get this team to win a title. Is Joel like sharing some of the load, not feeling like he has to do everything? And my biggest hope is that that's what the USA basketball experience brought for Joel.
Yeah, I think it's a great point that I hadn't considered. I do think Joel just went through exactly what you want to see with the Sixers. And, he seemed willing and happy to do it. I think Joel likes to get his numbers. He likes to get his all-star appearances, like all players do. He wants to build his Hall of Fame resume. But Joel has gone through a career where he's not had a ton of help. I mean, James Harden helped him at times. I think what James Harden did for him in the playoffs, I think it's underrated because they were both so bad in Game 7, and Harden also no-showed in Game 6. But he's not had a series where a teammate carried him to a win in that series. Every series they've won has been because Joel's been awesome. Now, they're not playing great teams, but he hasn't had the ability to sit back and think that he could sit back while also thinking they would win. I mean, when Ben was here, Ben was really good as a great role player, but Joel couldn't take a night off and win because of Ben. And so to your point about being in the Olympics, like Joel wasn't in those final 4 minutes of the final. Like it was, I think it was Bam that was in there, or he wasn't in there. I remember that. So
AD played a lot.
Anthony, that's who it was. It was Anthony Davis. And Joel's not going to be benched in the final 4 minutes of a game 7 for the Sixers. Like,
would be a tough look for him.
Would be tough. I would really respect his true willingness not to be in there for the team if that happened. But I do think it was a good look for Joel to say, all right, you know what? Like getting benched for a full game. If I was Joel, I'd be furious. I probably would not because I'm afraid of conflict, but I would have like thrown a tantrum if I were him. He had the power to do that, and he didn't. So I think he willingly took a step back or a back seat for this tournament. And he still played well towards the end. So I don't think you can sit here and go, I got into a debate with someone about the Eagles practice. You can imagine who I got in this debate with, but like Joel got carried to a title and he didn't help contribute. Like, I just don't think that's true. Was Steph Curry the best player on the Olympic team? Yes. Steph was awesome. Did Steph carry them in that final? Yes. But if you're going to say he carried Joel, then he carried everybody else because it was Durant that passed him the ball late to like get those big threes when they were falling apart. So I don't think it's fair to say Joel got carried. I think he was a big part of the team. I think he probably ended up being a top 5 most important player on the Olympic team, and they won the gold. So for him to show that and to willingly accept that he can win big games and win like meaningful tournaments while taking a step back, I agree with you 100%. I think it was a really good learning experience for him.
Well, and the idea, like, I think that the idea that he's carried, I mean, think about it this way, right? Okay, he got if you think he got carried to the gold, whatever. But like, okay, then what did Anthony Edwards, who everyone loves, love Anthony Edwards.
Yes, he didn't even start.
What did Halliburton, who I'm sure the guy that you were talking to, Halliburton, his boy, you know, I'm sure that he had a great Olympics. And the biggest test of it all is Jason Tatum. I mean, Jason Tatum is fresh off of being the best player on a title team, and he didn't play. And it's a big win for me and the people that do not believe he's that guy.
It's a hard one for me. Yeah. It's so unfair to Tatum. They're honest to God, that, you know, when we do like radio topics, it'll be like, what do you care the most about today? The thing I care about most in my life right now is the unfair disrespect that Tatum is getting. It's absurd, but whatever.
Well, I mean, me and Steve Kerr are just hoop heads. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys really know ball. What a masterclass by Steve Kerr. The matchups he had, it was amazing to watch. He really coached that tournament.
Well, I don't know about you. I watch games for Steve Kerr. I don't want to see.
Yeah, that's why we sign up.
I tell you what. I mean, like being able to root for Steph Curry for a little bit was quite fun. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I never was rooting against those Warriors teams. Like, I've always loved Steph, but like, imagine how spoiled you have to be to have 15 years of Steph Curry as your best player. Like, that's like.
Would you rather have 15
insane.
years of Steph Curry or 15 years of Tom Brady?
Probably Brady. I mean, probably Brady.
Steph is pretty exciting.
Would you rather have 15 years of LeBron or 15 years of Steph?
So I was thinking about this yesterday at the end of games, and then you saying this earlier brought it to my mind again. I do think the Olympics are a good like a look at how the best players around the league view who the best players are. Mm-hmm. And I think Joel, they respect him. I came away from this thinking the best players in the league do respect Joel. He was in there for big, all those things.
Again,
but I think we found out
he was in there for big moments, sure, but he also was on the bench for the last 4 minutes.
He was for sure. He was, but I mean,
point that out.
I didn't. All right, let me rephrase this. I didn't walk away feeling like those guys are alphas and Joel is not. Like, I thought Joel looked like he belonged with those guys. And
the thing that off of this is and I thought it was interesting that he already talked about maybe playing for Cameroon next time if he plays again.
I don't love that. Like, he should play where he wants to play, and I respect it. But come on, man. Like, why don't you save that? I didn't love it.
And that's why I can't tell. You know when KD won those rings, and it was kind of like, I don't think he felt as fulfilled as he thought he was going to feel.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's how Embiid feels winning the gold with Team USA. Like, he finally won something, but is it as fulfilling as he thought it was going to be? Now, I think after the gold medal game, I would feel pretty fulfilled. And I think if you asked him, right now, I think he'd say I'm playing for Team USA, obviously. Yeah. But what can change between now and LA in 2028, which by the way, that's freaking awesome, man. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
like 2026 is the year of Philadelphia. Like we have everything here, which is going to be awesome. And then straight into the Olympics in 2028. Like these next 4 years, yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big stuff for
Clap your hands road trip out to go see some Olympic, some FIBA basketball. We don't have to see USA. We can go see Serbia, Greece, or whatever.
Well, and I don't think that there's a podcast that has broken down the international game quite like we have. So I think that's really important. But like, there's a chance in 2028 that Embiid is the elder statesman. Like Curry probably won't be there, probably. KD probably won't be there. And LeBron said he's had a hard time seeing himself playing in LA in 2028, which I don't really believe. I think
I think he'll play. Yeah.
I think even if he's retired, I think he'd play.
I agree.
Like Magic was essentially retired on the 92 team, and Larry Bird was on his last leg. So I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron's playing. And does he force to get Bronny James? We'll see. Like, I don't know if we need to do all that.
Role player. Hey, by then he'll be like 6th man of the year.
Don't think we need that for the discourse around basketball. But like even like Booker took a backseat to those guys. Embiid took a backseat to those guys. You know, Anthony Davis took a backseat to those guys. Anthony Edwards, who everyone thinks is like this big old alpha, he took a backseat. So like,
good point.
It's all these guys taking back seats, which is fine because that's the respect that you give to 3 of the best players to ever play basketball.
So again, the whole hierarchy thing. First of all, I think this showed Steph is the top dog. He might not be the best player right now.
No.
Dude, he's the top dog, man. All those players went to him. He carried them against Serbia. Like he carried this team to the gold. Like everyone had their role and had their moments and all that, but I think Steph is the one player where if he wasn't on the team, they legitimately might have not won. I think you could probably lose LeBron. I don't know. But I just thought in the biggest moments, Steph took over. And that's what it was. Like the guys deferred to Steph. And when you were talking about the 15 years of LeBron or Steph, I do wonder how far away we are. Like, is there a Steph ahead of LeBron conversation?
People are going to have it. I think
it's LeBron, but it's an interesting one. Like yesterday showed in the big moments, you go to Steph over LeBron. So,
like, I think people are going to do it. It's fine. I'm not there. People can have their opinions. I think the bigger one is like, how do we rank Duncan, Curry, and KD?
Duncan, Curry, and KD.
Like Duncan is a 5-time champion, a 15-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA defensive guy. Like,
he's so boring though.
He's so boring, but he's also so
boring.
Good.
Yeah,
but like also if Steph, all right, so Steph also had Clay and Draymond and a system. Like I think Steph's ridiculous, but like LeBron also creates every system. Like if Steph wasn't dropped into that, how does his career kind of turn out? Like it's probably still really, really good, but I think that obviously he didn't win his first Finals MVP until the Celtics series, and so like, and then KD, it's like KD you could argue is the most talented of all those guys, but jumps up to 1 million teams. He has two titles that no one cares about. You can bring up your little Jokic thing until you're blue in the face.
The KD ones are more meaningful than Jokic.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Because they're the Warriors and they're Steph's. It's not.
Dude,
KD's ring doesn't mean as much as Jokic's rings, but like those titles are more meaningful.
2 rings.
2 rings, right? Yeah.
But what's meaningful about them?
Because they're the Warriors dynasty. They're Steph's rings. It's like I agree with you that KD didn't do as much for his rings as Jokic did for his. I agree with that. Although I don't know. He did beat LeBron in the finals. But regardless, I see what you're saying. Like, but Jokic's ring is completely meaningless. Like no one remembers.
It's not meaningless.
No one will ever talk about it. In 10 years,
you think it's meaningless?
Okay.
Jokic was the clear cut, and KD, to his credit, was the best player on the team. Whatever. Jokic was like the guy. Everything revolved around him. Like KD,
they trash teams the whole way.
They sleptwalked to a title that for 2 years that no one cares about. No one cares about those 2 titles.
So I agree, like by themselves, but because they're part of 5 for Steph Curry or whatever he has 4, then they become more meaningful.
If they were so meaningful, why did KD leave?
Because he won 2 and he wanted to leave. That's his. Again, I'm not defending KD. I'm saying the Warriors rings are more meaningful than Jokic's. The Warriors rings will be discussed as one of the best dynasties in the NBA for years to come. the Jokic ring is basically like that random Pistons title from way back when we were young.
Those 2 rings were probably the worst thing that ever happened to the league.
Oh my God.
Well, no, because like, all right, here's what happened. Here's what happened.
Yeah, what's happened since?
Here's what happened. Those 2 years, everyone walked into the year saying, we know who's going to win the title. Like, it's not even, it wasn't, there was no intrigue. There was no conversation. It was like, oh my God, they're going to win. Like, that wasn't interesting. So like, it'll count when we're looking at the overall ring total by the end, but like, no one's going to be like, oh yeah, but they also had KD for those 2 years. Like, that doesn't mean they're, like, I would hope they would have, like, the one they won against the Celtics was like, that's the real Warriors. Their first one. Like,
I agree with that.
That's real. That's special. Like, those 2 years were just like, congratulations on having overwhelming talent.
Yeah, but they'd won one before KD too, for what it's worth.
They
so
did.
like,
I know.
But yes, I get your point that because of KD. I'm just saying that the Jokic ring is like, will be not discussed. And like, again, I truly believe this USA gold medal is more impressive and more meaningful than the Jokic title. I just do.
Well, you've convinced yourself that. I know.
I
know you
have.
believe it. I know you believe it, but I also know.
Get the lie detector test out. It'll be inconclusive, but I believe it.
But yeah, I just, again, it was a good moment for him, a good moment for the team, and you know, it was good to make Nick Batum cry. That's all I wanted to see.
I have another Joel question for you with the Olympics. So, what do you think this means for him going into next year? We talked about it a little bit, how like he took a back seat and all those things, but I think we wanted to leave the Olympics feeling that he, in a big game next year, will be better for it because of this. So my 2 questions for you are, A, do you feel that way about him? And B, do you think this changes the way people view Joel in Philadelphia?
No. I was actually thinking tomorrow of like a little like C topic, you know, in radio, we got an A topic, we got a B topic, and then there's like a C.
Sometimes
like,
a C, which is normally the first,
like a C
topic,
segment to see it, throw out there and see if people react to it. Like, did you feel anything when Joel Embiid won gold? Like, I wonder if we are asking the WIP listening audience, which I don't think felt anything
right.
when he won a title, but I do think that that's like a question of like, were you like happy for Joel Embiid? Is probably the wrong way to say it, because I think we're happy for Joel Embiid, but like as a Sixers fan, did you feel this immense sense of pride that our guy won gold medal? And I think that there's almost unfairly, I think it's really unfair actually, like how down the city is on the Sixers.
Yeah.
I think the reaction is, I don't care, win a title, frankly.
So my first, let me say my personal feelings on it before what I think the larger crowd will feel.
I believe that you will have a different take than the large crowd.
I might be in the minority here. But I felt more when Joel won the MVP. Like when Joel won the MVP, I felt like this was a really, really cool moment. I was not only happy for him, but like as a fan, it was awesome to have someone on the Sixers win MVP. Like we've been through this, why I thought it was more meaningful and everyone wanted to dismiss it, but I thought it meant something. The USA ring was a really cool experience overall. And I think it means something for USA basketball. Like, and it was like a memorable team. You know how people talk about like the dream team, the 96 team? I think this is the first Olympic team of my lifetime that I like processed. The 96 team happened, I was like 8. But this is the first team that I think I'll remember, like the 2024 Olympic team. Like I will remember this team. But for Joel, to be honest, like I'm happy for him. It was a cool experience. I didn't feel like this was a great accomplishment. I don't feel like this gets the monkey off his back of like the losing in the playoffs or feeling like I don't feel any of that. So while it was cool and it was fun, I wasn't sitting there being like, oh my God, like a Sixer has an Olympic medal, or oh my God, Joel did it. I was more just happy for him than I myself felt a sense of pride, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I still didn't see like huge winner vibes. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see like this guy knows how to get the job done in the biggest moments. I feel 2 things. One, you bring up the MVP. Like I think that this is more important than that MVP for the overall goal of winning a championship. Like I think that was a good personal accomplishment for Joel. Yeah. But I think that yesterday was a good like team knowing how to hopefully get it done. And I just hope that when they're in these big games next year, he can really channel like what He's surrounded by Steph, KD, and LeBron. Like, I hope that he can remember what they were saying in the huddles, because he's never done this before. Like, he's had Harden, who had no idea how to win. He had Ben, who had no idea how to win. Yeah. And we'll see what PG brings. I hope that he knows how to win. He's been on. Now he broke his leg, I think, in 16. So I don't think he played then. I don't know if he played in 2021 in
Has
Tokyo.
He been on an Olympics team?
Well, he was supposed to be on the 16 team, and he broke it. He broke his leg in the trials. So I don't know if he's played in those kind of games. But like, I hope that he channels what those guys were saying and says, okay, this is what they said. Like, let I'm going to use that kind of experience. But I don't think it's like, I watched him play yesterday, and it was still more, God, he looks slow. And
I know, I was texting people that it might even been you and James in a text, like, during the Serbia game, I was texting like, God, he looks old. Like, he does. And then he had that dunk, and then they won the gold. So it was a old takes exposed quickly. But you're right. Like, watching him, look, if he would have did what Steph did yesterday, then I think he'd be a hero.
He'd be a hero.
I would be like, that meant something. Like, that was like a meaningful accomplishment in Joel's career. I don't think this is a meaningful accomplishment. It was cool, and he was a top 5 guy, and it was awesome. But it wasn't like a takes Joel from here to there type of moment. I think what you're looking for
is him walking in with those 3 guys, with, obviously, we talked about KD, Steph, and LeBron, and being like, I'm better than all you guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that would have been selfish. Like, if he just tried to do everything his way too. And I tried to break this down for you 2 podcasts ago.
You did.
The international game does not lend itself to that kind of one-on-one basketball. It is more team basketball. That's how you saw Argentina. Did it? Sure, but like, that was end of game stuff and whatever. Like, I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about like people say, how is France even in that game? How is Serbia even in that game? Your boy choking in 04 against Argentina. Like, how do those teams win? It's because they play team basketball. And like, that's not traditionally what USA does. And that's why those games were close. So I don't think those kind of games, I don't think the international game lends itself to Joel being that kind of guy. I think he has to be better about moving the basketball and like playing team basketball. So like, I think the reason why you feel this way, and I feel I'm there with you, I'm not, shouting you down, is because like he didn't go out there and dominate. He looked like one of the guys rather than the guy. And I think if we left the Olympics saying he was the guy, like Jordan in 92, you know, like where it's like, he's that guy, I think we're saying this team could win a championship. But we still left it feeling like, good.
I feel the same way about him now as I did going in, is really the best way I could put it. Like, in terms of just from like feeling something about Joel, I probably was more excited after the Serbia game, because that was where the team was not going well, and he saved them. Like, he was exactly what they're going to need in game 6 or 7 of the second round next year, if it goes 6 or 7, where it's not going well, it's ugly, the tension's on, everybody's like, this could be potentially bad. And Joel had those 7 straight points to help him. When I left the gold medal game, I was happy, and it was cool to see pictures of Joel with the medal and everything. But I didn't leave going, okay, that's a guy that can. I feel the exact same way. I don't think Joel changed how I look at him. I do, to your point, Joel strikes me as somebody that really takes in information. And I mean, every offseason he improves, all those things. I do think just being around, seeing how Steph, LeBron, KD, how they talked in those big moments, like what they brought up, what their mentality was like. I think Joel will try to mimic that next year. And so that's a positive. But while you're right, it's a team game, and I do think he was selfless, and I respect him for that. In a world where Steph, let's just say, hadn't established himself, which obviously he has. But if Embiid had did what Steph did, like hit 4 straight threes, like, or put Maxey in there. If Maxey had done what Steph did yesterday, I would wake up this morning being like, Maxey,
we're winning the title.
Dude, like he look at what to do that with those guys there, and then that's doesn't mean Embiid's medal means any less. But what it does mean is, as a wanting to feel great about Joel, what Steph did made me really go, wow. What Joel did was fun. What Steph did was impressive.
Well, that's awesome. I'm hope that Steph and LeBron are gonna have fun in the play-in next year.
I saw this tweet where, and there's nothing worse than trying to describe a joke on Twitter, but it was LeBron and Steph like looking at each other being like, leaving from the Olympics to going to play for play-in teams next year. So
yeah, it's gotta be tough.
Yeah,
it's gotta be tough. But yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with you. I think the bigger test, and obviously we don't know today because it's 4 years away. I'm just curious how 2028 would go. Like if those guys,
I don't think
there.
he'll play. I don't think Joel will play in 2028.
Was he 30? I'm 30, so we're a day apart. That's why we're basically the same guy.
Yeah.
He'll be 34. He'll be
4 years from now,
dude. He'll be there. He'll be.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either.
Maxey will be there for sure.
Maybe. I hope so. I hope he's there. I'm thinking like at that point it'll be Edwards. I assume Halliburton will still be there. Brunson.
Hopefully Tatum doesn't go.
Tatum boycotts. Says never again.
Derek White on the roster again.
They still don't let Jaylen Brown play. They're still like, Jaylen, you got to earn it. You got to earn it more. Maybe learn how to dribble with your left hand. Maybe figure out how to go left.
But must be so livid at this whole experience. It must be so funny in the locker room where Tatum and Brown are like just like shitting all over the USA basketball, and Derek White and Drew are like, well, we had
a good time.
Went okay for me. Yeah,
dude, I really wish Drew was a Sixer. Like I wish that they were able to.
Sixer. Yeah.
The Portland trade last year, like if they could have made that deal somehow and got him here, like God, like talk about a guy that gets it. Like
he's the way better version of like Kyle Lowry, like those guys. Like he is
that can still play. Like he can still play. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll be curious to see like 4 years from now what it kind of looks like if he asserts himself. I guess I leave it more hopeful that he took a lot from that and applies it to next year. I'm not too worried about like how he played. I kind of like expected him to play that way. I would have wished that he went out and like scored 20 a game and was dunking on people and looked like Joel. But again, I think the international game lends itself to being more selfless. And I'm still in the hope versus believe category with Joel, but I think I do leave it like, okay, I hope that he gained a wealth of knowledge. I hope that he realized he needs teammates to win. I hope he left there saying, I don't have to do everything. I can hand the ball to Paul. I can hand the ball to Tyrese and let them kind of do their thing. Like, I think I leave feeling better about that kind of stuff than like his game in those big games.
No, I agree. I think, again, like I said at the beginning, it was a positive for Joel. I don't think if you're someone that leaves this feeling worse about Joel or like diminishing the gold medal, then like I disagree with that. I don't think
a hater. Just a hater.
I don't think he was carried to a ring. I don't, we're not talking NBA here. You've said it a bunch. Like every player was carried to a ring other than Steph. Then right? Like I just think it was an overall and we even said this, but he stayed healthy. Like the whole discussion we had for months on this pod and on the radio was he shouldn't play because he could get hurt. He shouldn't play because he could get hurt. He didn't. He made it. So, I don't think it
looked pretty skinny at the end. At the end, it was like, all right.
Yeah. I do think the positive could be, I just think it sucks training camp doesn't start for like another month, but he could really ride the momentum of this into being in good shape right when the season begins.
Yeah, it's a tough balance because like, do I really care about the first 2 months of the season, or do we care about the back end? Like, do I need him heading into the season healthy? We've seen him head into the season healthy, and it has ultimately mattered.
That's fair.
So, I hope we'll see what he looks like. I mean, again, like maybe he kind of chills for a little bit. Does he go straight to LA and start training with Drew Hanlon? I have no idea.
Hopefully he doesn't be like, I need a month off. And
Hopefully it's not like I need to rest.
Shape, a bunch of Shirley Temples.
I need to rest, but overall, it was good stuff. And Joel Embiid is a world champion. Do you have anything else you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, so I actually have a question, and James, you can feel free to hop in on this one. I don't know if you're mic'd up by your thing. So I think I figured out a way to wear an NBA basketball jersey as an adult. And I'm curious what you think about this look. Are you ready?
Like in public or 2 games? In
public. So I wore it to my radio show yesterday and then to the concert last night. And tell me what you think. I put on the USA Joel basketball jersey, got a lot of shout outs in the crowd. People were excited, right?
Now I see I'm kind of looking at it. Do you have the sleeves on it or is it sleeves?
No, this is a soccer jersey.
Okay, never mind.
A basketball jersey, like a basketball jersey.
No, I got you. Yeah.
So, all right. Put the basketball jersey on, had some shorts on, and then I put a button up on over the shirt, unbuttoned. So like you could see the front of the jersey, and then the like I rolled up the sleeves. What do you think?
Well, then what's the point then? If you can't see the name on the back, are you a name on the front guy?
No, although when I was younger, I used to wear basketball jerseys, like, so it's like the name would be here. That was a cool way to wear it. And for a while, people used to wear them, and I used to do it where you put it like around your neck. But
I don't think I could. Well, I could never pull it off. Like
not a button down. If you had like it's too hot, but like a jacket or something over it, but like a
so it was like it was a button up that was the color of jean. It wasn't like jean material. But so it wasn't like a button up with like
denim?
stripes.
Denim.
Yeah, like denim.
Yeah,
Denim.
yeah, I knew.
now, hold on.
I like that. I actually like that better.
You like that, right? I feel like
I'm picturing it. The shoes and jeans, man. 'Cause you can't go denim on denim. Would you?
No, so I had navy blue shorts on. I had the navy blue basketball jersey because that's what color it is, and then the shirt I wore over it was like a light denim.
Like a light blue, yeah.
It's good.
I might have killed it, right? I kind of killed it. Yeah.
Now, who'd you go see? What concert were you at last night?
I went to see Glass Animals.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. That's what. Do you know Glass Animals?
No, I don't think I know Glass Animals.
So Kristen is more of a fan than I am, but it was cool. They put on an awesome show. I mean, it was like, there was not a lot of like going in. I will say I was older than most people there, so it already kind of felt like I was trying to be cool when maybe it wasn't really working. But
yeah, dude. Well, that's how I felt at Zach Bryan. Not that I was trying to be cool. It was just like I'm too old. Like,
the average age of Zach Bryan was 21, 22. It felt like it was older at Glass Animals, but yeah.
Zach Bryan, it was like, I can't wait till he starts playing smaller venues and to where I can appreciate this. I don't need. The
man was a cool venue. James puts in the chat, look at this guy over there in the denim and Embiid jersey. Yeah, a lot of tie dye, I would say, at the Glass Animals.
Yeah, that's concert. Good. Yeah, that's good. Well, I know. Listen, I know you have a big grocery shopping.
I do. Big Sunday ahead, as Will Ferrell. A nice Sunday. Yeah.
What do we get in the grocery store? Like, you getting all your healthy meals for the week?
I gotta start eating healthier. Yeah. So hopefully something good. I actually might do a 3-day juice cleanse. I'm debating doing that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You ever done that?
No, but I support you in that kind of stuff.
If I can get through the first day and a half, I think I'll be good. The tough thing.
So is that where you just drink juice for 3 days, or
it's just juices? So it's 7 juices for 3 days in a row.
That's a lot of juice. It's a lot of juice
instead of food. Yes, but I'm thinking. With the Eagles, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the schedule works. So maybe if I do it on Friday and we do a pod, I will be right about to end, and we'll see if I'm looking skinnier, if I'm in an irritable mood.
You're flying to Boston tomorrow, right?
I'm taking the train.
The old train to Boston. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Are you gonna listen to 28 by Zach Bryan the whole time?
I might. Yeah, exactly.
Start welling up.
Well, it makes me think of Maine. Right when Great American Bar Scene came out, I was in Maine, so.
Oh man, what a summer! The summer of Eliot. The summer of Eliot.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. See, I could never pull off any basketball jersey at this point.
I think you should try it. You should try this. I might have discovered it. The look.
Eczema and basketball jerseys aren't the best. The best scene.
Okay, yeah. Well, do you have eczema? I mean, I
have a light case of eczema.
Okay, all right. Well, my bad. I didn't know you were dealing with something. Hey, be proud of your body, bro.
Dude.
we won't shame you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I can't put any muscle on my arm. You know what's annoying? It's like
you have to tell me. That's why I put the shirt on over the basketball jersey.
Again, I'm built like a middle 2000s Giants tight end. Like I know it's very like descriptive, but like every Giants tight end in the 2000s after Shockey had no definition on their arms, and that's me. I can't do it. Like
that is what people think of when they see you, a 2000s Giants tight end. See, all right, right here's what it looked like.
All right, yeah, no, that's not bad. You pull off denim better than I do, obviously.
Thank you. People do say that about me.
That's good. Well, either way, this is fun, and
we'll be back at some point. We're really entering the doldrums of basketball right now.
We actually had a lot to talk about today. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
We'll see how the rest of this summer goes. But either way, we'll be here to break it down. Training camp, obviously, around the corner. And like yesterday, watching yesterday really did make me excited for like May of next year.
It's going to be so sick. Yep.
Everything in between there, we'll deal with when we get there. There's going to be some Sixers regular season wins that are awesome, but like I want real big basketball. And I want people to not hate the Sixers. Like, I just want people to not hate the Sixers heading into the year.
100%.
It's fine. Again,
100%.
we can like all these teams. That's what people tell me.
Look, the Phillies are trying hard. That's fun. The Eagles are back. That's all we need.
Again, people are legitimately mad at the Phillies, so you can calm down.
I agree.
They are being held accountable.
I almost said this to Spike on air, but I didn't get a chance. Like, I think people rip Bryce now. Like, the whole nobody rips Bryce thing is actually the way everyone rips Bryce. Like, sure. So many people call in and go, I know no one rips him, but you're ripping him. So I think he's gotten it worse than I would have thought going into it.
And people are paying much, much, much more attention now. So
thank you for that. That's all.
It's great. Yeah. It's great. I love it. It makes me so happy. Please keep watching. All right. Either way, go have a great grocery shopping experience. I support you in your 3-day juice cleanse. And have a nice time shipping up to Boston. It'll be fun. All right, for Jack Fritz, for Eliot Shorr-Parks, and for James Jackson, this has been another edition of Clap Your Hands.